Russian military analyst warns European or world war possible in month as tensions rise in Ukraine. This crisis has the potential to escalate into a pan-European or world war. Russian military analyst claims Moscow's buildup of troops and tanks on the Ukrainian border could turn hot within as little as 4 weeks. A European or even world war could be triggered in Ukraine after Russia dispatched 4,000 to the disputed border with its neighbor, warns an independent Russian military analyst. It comes as social media footage shows suspected large-scale Russian military movements in regions close to rebel-held eastern Ukraine and annexed Crimea. With tension sharply rising, analyst Pavel Felgenhauer, 69, said it now requires a psychoanalyst to determine Russia's intentions in Ukraine, but warned events could see war in a month. The West has expressed alarm about Moscow's movement of troops and forces, and Felgenhauer says they are right to be concerned as unverified new footage appears to show military movements in Russia's Voronezh, Rostov and Krasnodar regions, along with key railway routes. The crisis has the potential to escalate into a pan-European war, if not even a world one, Felgenhauer warned starkly in an interview with Rosbalt news outlet in Russia. But for now, potential. Will it happen or not? Let's wait and see. In the West, they don't know what to do about it. Russia yesterday vowed to take extra measures if NATO sends forces to Ukraine after the Kremlin dispatched 4,000 troops to the disputed border with its neighbor. No doubt such a scenario would lead to a further increase in tensions close to Russia's borders. Of course, this would call for additional measures from the Russian side to ensure its security, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov told reporters. He insisted, however, that Russia was not threatening Ukraine, despite an earlier statement which warned a war in Donbass would destroy its neighbor. Footage has emerged shows dozens of military helicopters close to the frontier, and the movement of tanks and other military vehicles by train. The United States pledged its unwavering support to Ukraine on Thursday as defense officials said they were aware of thousands of troops newly deployed to the separatist Donbass territory, which is controlled by pro-Moscow factions. Asked why Russia may be pushing for a conflict now, Felgenhauer replied, "Address this question to a psychoanalyst. Do I need to explain? The facts are there, everything is already happening." He claimed all the conditions could be in place by early May when Russia will hold a major Red Square parade to mark the anniversary of victory in World War II, and he suspected a decision has been made already. Felgenhauer said factors pushing Russia towards seizing land from Ukraine were the closure of pro-Russian TV channels in Ukraine, the threat of arrest and trial of Ukrainian politician Viktor Medvedchuk, the arrest of Alexei Navalny, and President Biden calling Putin a murderer. The threats are growing, and rapidly. Much is not discussed in the media, but we are seeing very bad signs, he added. In the third week of March, 3 large Russian Baltic Fleet landing ships passed south through the English Channel, accompanied by a corvette, he said. There will be 10 such combat units in total, plus small airborne troops, he said. You can collect up to 2 divisions, taking into account the Air Force. Russia could be planning a Normandy-style landing between Odessa and Mykolaiv, he claimed. Putin has huge forces in occupied East Ukraine, which fell under his sway in 2014, and in Crimea, which was occupied. Obviously, a major operation is being prepared, and other forces will be brought in as well, he said. Everyone is talking about a possible tank invasion from Belgorod through Kharkiv in the direction of Zaporizhia in order to surround Ukrainian forces on the left bank of the Donbass. Putin might cut off Ukraine from the sea, create a new rebel state of Novorossiya, for example, or he could make a move-in pause and start dictating terms to the West, Felgenhauer added. Or Russia could seek to extend his control, devouring Ukraine as far as Transnistria, a landlocked, Moscow-controlled no-man's land unofficial state with its own KGB secret service, he claimed. Felgenhauer predicted that the West's expected reactions to such moves were unclear. Some, in the West, say that the Russians should not be provoked, and military intervention is too risky. Others, on the contrary, are in favor of unification of Russia and Ukraine, and open confrontation, because then it will be possible to bargain with Russia. Ukraine alleges Russia has 32,700 troops in Crimea, and commands 28,000 separatist servicemen in rebel-held eastern Ukraine. Despite significant enemy forces, the Ukrainian army is prepared for all potential scenarios, said Ruslan Komshak, the Ukrainian commander-in-chief. Putin's spokesman Dmitry Peskov defended the troop movement towards border areas. The Russian Federation moves troops within its own territory at its own discretion, he said. This shouldn't concern anyone, as such actions do not endanger anyone. He claimed, as you know, intense activity of the armies of NATO member states and other organizations, as well as particular states etc., is being observed on the perimeter of Russian borders. We need to stay on guard. A NATO official said that the Western allies have concerns over Russian large-scale military activities around Ukraine. An American expert on Russia, Michael Kaufman, said that while there was no strong evidence that an attack is imminent, it was clear something is up outside of regular exercises or normal troop rotation. He warned, Russian intentions are unclear. Ukraine, Western countries and NATO accuse Russia of sending troops and heavy weapons to prop up its proxies in Donbass who seized a swathe of eastern Ukraine in 2014. Russia says it only provides political and humanitarian support to separatist fighters in what it casts as an internal conflict. Ukrainian military intelligence accused Russia of engineering provocations to create a pretext to send additional Russian military units to Donbass. In addition, an attempt to advance Russian occupation forces deep into Ukraine is not ruled out, it said.